Hey guys, welcome to the Search Hustle podcast. Today on the episode, we're talking about AI, how it's changing the way marketing companies have to deal with getting people and our clients found online, how it's affecting search engine optimization, how we're now going from a search engine optimization to a search everywhere optimization, as you've probably heard by now. And so, again, there's William, Dave, Scott, myself. William, why don't you kick us off?
So for me, it's affected some of the workflows in the way we do early research. Dave's done a lot of prompt engineering on how to find out who a client's avatars are, what their value proposition is, by using AI to analyze reviews, responses, form fill out comments. We've done a lot of research there using AI, where in the past we had to read it and try to self-analyze it and come up with our own non-statistical or qualitative analysis of that information. Whereas now we can use AI to really crunch it down and give us really great avatars. We have branding teams that we work alongside that create incredible brand strategies. A lot of the AIs can get close on that. Like we can feed it our branding team and get in a 20-page value proposition, unique selling points, 4 or 5 avatars with unique selling points, brand vision, mission, all of that built with our brand strategy team. And we feel like we can get close with AI on some of these pieces, and images are coming along too. And like same thing with web development. We have a full mock-up team after we get your project and we understand a project in digital marketing. Then we get a brand strategy, and then we'll build a mock-up. We even feel like AI in digital marketing is getting close to even building like mock-ups and giving us examples of mock-ups. We still have to have a brand strategist, a social media guy that is looking over the shoulder of everything that goes out in the channels, because we manage so many channels across so many brands. You still have to have an ad expert that understands, CPAs and the targets and what's good, what's bad ad buys. You still have to have a web developer that's building a clean development that's fast and is SEO hungry and friendly and AI hungry and friendly. And so you still have to have specialists. But yeah, I think we use AI in a lot of ways to help us do a lot of the old lifting that I just knew it was going to take us 20 hours or 30 hours to do that. Now it's minutes and hours. It's also affecting how people look in the search engines for our clients. So I know I covered the side of doing the work, but I mean, I haven't even touched the side of how do we, make sure our clients are still findable and still can get leads from search, and all the work that we do is actually in the end going from impressions, clicks to leads to actually clients to return customers.
You got anything, Dave?
Yeah, let's see.
How's it affecting your workflows on the web development side? You're using it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a double-edged sword between like this constant migraine of like, am I keeping up with the newest thing? Because there's all sorts of like clickbait garbage every week that comes out where people are trying to be like, jump on the newest thing.
Right. You don't want to feel like you've missed it.
Right. And so it's like, okay, how much I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes I'm not even saving time, because all the extra time just goes to like clicking through all this junk that is like the possible next thing that I'm going to use. I think AI is like the quotes, people have about money or like wealth, where it's like, or fame, like it doesn't make you better. It just exposes who you are more. So when it comes to like a digital footprint for a business, like, it's not going to make your business better. It's going to expose whatever you have, because you can put in that. Like context. I think the biggest thing that everybody misses about AI right now is just context, period. What you put in the very beginning, the context. Without that,
the seed information.
Yeah, exactly.
The quality of the seed information.
I mean, I've been seeing people who say they will take their organization and they will literally like spend 6 months crafting that seed context information to feed into an AI to where they fine tune it, and then it's talking about doing weeks of work in minutes and that at that stage. But they put in months of work as a team to create that context first. Otherwise, if you're just doing what everybody does right now, which is a 1 or 2 sentence Google prompt, like a Google search as a prompt, you're going to get the same results everybody else is getting. So I think when we get like a couple iterations down the line to where it's funny, everybody I always talk to has the same thought that I have, which is like, I want Jarvis from the Marvel universe, Tony Stark's personal AI assistant. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for us to get to the point where I can just have this ongoing conversation all day with my AI who knows all my preferences, knows
whether it's glasses or an earpiece.
Knows how to open the doors to my house, start the engine on my car. This person's calling me, send it to voicemail. Everyone wants to feel like that. Once we have that kind of context on an individual basis, like globally, then that's where it's going to be really interesting to see where
I think it'll come in the form of glasses.
You think so?
Sunglasses. So nobody's going to know anyone's eye colors in the future.
The Ray-Ban type thing?
Yeah, where you've got all your info right there. You can like eye check, open up. For me, I would use Gemini all damn day if I had it in my glasses.
Yeah.
Every single thing that comes across me, I would consult AI with my eyes all day.
So here's my ADHD kicking in, but there was an episode of Black Mirror where they would clone your consciousness, like digitize it, and then upload a miniature you into your home cloud system.
Oh my gosh!
So you are the one running everything, or a clone of you, because you know exactly how you like your toast, what time you want the blinds to open.
Yeah,
that was a freaky episode.
That's cool. I dig that.
Yeah, that's what we all hope for. But when I try to use ChatGPT, create an ads account or an ads campaign based off of this, it doesn't have a clue what search intent is. It doesn't have a clue of what the business does.
So it still lags on an ad side.
It's like when we use a virtual assistant to help us like write content or create a page or whatever. We had this problem the other day. We have an HVAC company. Well, in the Philippines, they don't have air conditioning. They don't truly know what it means to have American air conditioning. So they are giving us pictures of wall units and these hanging in the windows, like things that don't exist for us, but that's how they interpret it. And we're in that same situation where it's just like the total garbage. And maybe I don't do enough prompts down into it to like truly help it. But then at that point, I already know what to put,
right? You could have just written it yourself,
especially when it comes to some things, like when it comes to ads. Now, like maybe I can export an Excel sheet and like, hey, give me the numbers real quick on what in the last year, what our over-unders have been and all this kind of stuff. And there's some benefits to reading data super quick.
Yeah.
But creating data, I think, is where and creating assets, I think, is where it's still struggles.
The accuracy piece, like they always like double check because Claude makes mistakes, Gemini makes mistakes, it's like.
So which one's y'all's favorite? Because Gemini, I obviously only use Gemini, but which ones do you guys use?
I love Claude for the project database that you can build. You can upload like seed documents that it always references, like brand guidelines and all of that. And
that's a big deal.
It's very helpful, but even then, when you're writing content with it, it'll often it'll overcorrect. So if you give it a tiny guideline, like I don't like this, do this, it'll then start over applying that guideline to everything going forward. So you're constantly trying to rein it back into the core.
That's interesting.
But I mean, I think Claude's the best. I just think all of them are still so like you cannot replace humans with AI yet.
Yeah. What one do you use, Dustin?
I've was using Claude. I've gone back to ChatGPT. With the new updates.
The beginner.
Yeah, especially on the pro account, it's reading websites now where it didn't do that in the past.
Claude does too now.
Claude does too now. And that's the thing. They're all competing with each other.
And Gemini is my favorite. So
the China came out with, what was that one that China?
DeepSeek.
No, not DeepSeek, Manus AI. And basically was reverse engineered ChatGPT, but then they were giving you a lot more features and all of a sudden, we'll include these features in our pro. So
do you guys use the Twitter, the Facebook AIs yet?
I've just played around with Grok.
I have a personal vendetta against Meta AI just because it's so insertive. Like they've replaced their search results with it.
I know.
Like it used to pop
It's
up
really
things,
annoying.
and it's always in your face.
And
like,
you know it
Yeah.
sucks because it doesn't apply. Like the whole point of AI is to speak better to me of what I'm wanting as a
Yeah.
user, and it still is reading what I want as a user.
I've
terribly.
only seen Grok used optimally if someone wants to run it on their local network. Like they download the AI and they're running it on a machine in their home. Yeah.
Dave, what do you use? Which one do you use? Which
Claude's my primary. I'll use, if I have like a task-based thing where it's clerical task, I'll use Gemini to like, hey, convert this to this, create HTML for this, give me CSS for that. If it's creative, I'll use Claude mostly for like writing. Images, I'm still using Midjourney a lot, and then I have used some ChatGPT. ChatGPT is less strict on some stuff. Like if you're like, hey, I want it to look like this brand name thing, it might be able to understand better, versus like Midjourney is like, you can put any artist name in Midjourney, which is crazy, and get a really stylized image in that artist style. But if you put like a specific product or a specific like IP in there, sometimes Midjourney can get way off on that. But
Let's switch from our side of the table to like the consumer and the business side. So I think Google is definitely losing ground to AIs. I do most of my top of the funnel research in AI. I don't even go to the SERPs. I don't go to Google. I used to go to Google 100 times a day. I use it still for local services, but like our clients are all winning in AI. When we build to rank for Google, we're noticing that if you search for our clients in AI, they're also doing well there with our long-standing EEAT strategy, blogging, high-end content, giving people reasons to stay, good funnel usage. Where I'm seeing wins there, I don't see clients losing potential leads yet, but I definitely see how people are finding them changing, because we've even had clients say, hey, we got leads this week from AI.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen any negative trend line in GSC just on like less impressions overall for all clients? Or?
Most clients I see impression loads and keyword volumes going down. You're going to see keyword volumes down. Like you can search Hrefs for Google, and even Google,
queries, right?
the word Google is going down. I used to just type in Google, pop up my Google. So as you see Google go down, that means they're entering new places because people are wanting information. Like it's at our fingertips. We want it all day long. I want to research all day long. I'm not seeing lead volumes go down.
I think of, as far as a consumer intent, I'm looking at my wife and just we got a new car, or an old car, like a 2016 car. But the radio we had heard could be upgraded to have CarPlay. And we're like, okay, cool. We didn't go to Google, because you go to Google, you're getting sales.
Yeah.
You can't find your
Ads
information.
first.
Page one is
And
all
she's-
sponsored links.
It's all spam.
She's going on her own, and she's not a person who does this, but she's not Googled a thing in like the last, I don't know how long.
So tell me this.
So we've changed our whole radio with no experience through ChatGPT step-by-steps. We were able to download software via ChatGPT, getting us to a website that can download it without any of the fluff, without any of the pop-up websites that you get from all of that. Just
Do you remember
recipes,
when
all that
Google
kind of
felt
stuff.
more like the truth? Like if I get this, I know this is the right thing. But then do you remember when it switched and all of a sudden it felt like the whole first page was just ads? It just felt like Google sold out and just became, okay, here's the truth. We're an ads
Wasn't
company.
when that Yahoo guy took over?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
That Yahoo.
Yeah.
So then you have AI come out and they're like, here's the information. So now you've got an alternative and you're like, okay, here's the information. You look back over at Google and you're like, that's spam.
Yeah.
That I go to Google and I'm going to get spammed for multiple pages. And so all of a sudden the experience feels less genuine.
For how long,
SEO
though?
played a big
How
part
long
in that too.
until AIs are have ads in.
Yeah.
Oh, it's coming.
That's where I feel like where my job is going to go is from Google Ads to I'm going to have to be
AI
a first
ads.
adopter whenever AI starts accepting ads, and they might do it quietly. So I'll have to like really, truly
It's really
like
interesting.
get in there because at some point you're going to be a sponsored suggestion
Yeah.
of this.
Yeah.
You know, like right now we're ranking locally and organically for like we had a course creation lead come through. How'd you learn about us? Well, I was building a course
Exactly.
through
Prime example.
ChatGPT, and then I said, well, who can help me do this? And
Yeah.
we were the first person to pop
Yep.
up. And so that kind of situation is going to be a paid opportunity at some
I
point.
think that'll hopefully be fluid ads, where you can buy all your ads in one auction, and then the fluidity includes AI.
I think too, it's going to be way more high quality leads because the AI is going to be like, we know exactly where this user is in their journey, and this is the perfect solution for them.
Yeah.
It's like it's going to be like a 90% hit rate.
Yeah, that's interesting because of the privacy laws that Google's had in the last 2 years of,
Yeah,
of like not collecting as much data.
Yeah.
AI has all the
phones.
data.
Yeah.
AI is
AI's
collecting
gonna
it, and they're happy to collect it, and we're happy to give it to AI because we want it to be the best for us.
Right.
And
The AIs are going to have to be really upfront though about what is an ad though, because like obviously Google owns Gemini, so they're going to be disclosing things. But what about like some of these Chinese AIs that
Oh,
are coming
gosh.
out? Like
oh yeah,
they might not be as upfront with their privacy laws and all that. So
Mhm.
it's going to be interesting to know which ones you can trust to give you authentic results.
Yeah, for sure.
just figure out which one our government invests in. That's the
And
one.
use
That's
the opposite one.
use the opposite.
Is
one.
authentic results important?
Uh,
Did Google train us that authentic doesn't matter?
I don't think so. I mean, I've seen an example just with Facebook ads. They don't vet a lot of the companies that advertise on there.
Oh.
So I bought a children's toy on there for $10.
Which has primed us to not
Yeah.
discriminate.
Well,
Right.
I bought a $10 children's toy on there, and suddenly this company was taking $50 at a time out of my bank account.
Oh,
And
wow.
I looked them up, and they were doing this. But this is the same company is popping up 100 different company names. Every time their page gets shut down, they pop up the same brand with
yeah, I think
different
that's the
name.
difference
same
between you
products.
and I, William, is you will trust that person. Well, they're here. I
Yeah.
trust it. We like
I got hit with an ad.
have gotten scammed enough to vet out like, is this even a real? Well, I can get this product on Amazon. Why would I buy it off of this
Yeah.
random junky website?
Authenticity matters more now than it ever has.
yeah, and I think maybe there will be a shift in the consumer confidence.
And when we
I
talk
think
about EAT, the trust with Google is going down. So like that makes the trust with our clients go down too.
I think
because
that's
we're
where
not
you're going to
getting
see
that.
micro influencers getting a bigger voice.
Big
Is
I mean, they are.
why would
They're
I trust
so powerful.
Google when it's all ads or AI when I don't know where they got this
I think
stuff
that's
from some
why
SEO
how micro
agency?
influencers have grown so much. You're so right. Is the non-trust with Facebook ads, the non-trust with Google ads, and micro influencers. I trust this guy, even I know that they're getting paid to do this. I
Yeah.
trust them.
Well, and that's why the big uproar of TikTok, didn't have anything to do with we love our scrolling videos. It's because so much people can be micro influencers and get paid.
Yeah.
Like I've seen somebody like show like, here's what 1 million views got me on Facebook. Nothing. Here's what 1 million views got me on TikTok. And it was
what was it?
thousands.
Oh, nice.
And so it's just like the ability for people to become micro influencers with not having to have 1 million followers is huge. And the whole TikTok situation of that going down didn't have as much to do with we don't have a good real algorithm. Nobody else has an algorithm. It's because nobody else can make money on those companies. But China is willing to pay to get in the game because they know that that's what everybody wants to be is have some passive income making videos, selling products.
Absolutely.
And then that person builds the trust that you trust that micro influencer that they're not going to promote something that they don't think is a good product. You know what I mean? So
I hear a lot of these Chinese factories are actually creating influencers from their manufacturing teams so that they can skip the tariffs. Instead of shipping everything to stores and paying all these tariffs, they can they have
interesting.
influencers now who are selling it in the TikTok shop.
Like our neon sign, our favorite.
and your favorite
guy.
neon sign guy.
Small
Yeah.
orders, individual orders, the tariffs don't apply the same way.
Yeah.
It's true.
I think to end this, AI is here. It's changing the way our workflows are. It's changing the way consumers are being found. It's changing the way searchers are looking for information and researching companies and products and services. You can't ignore it. You can't just be lazy and just ask it to do your job. You can't it's just not high quality. And to Scott's point, in the future, maybe, but it is something that is in real time changing so many industries, ours, and even, every industry, because every consumer is finding every industry differently. And so it's just, you got to stick. I hate being, first to the party. I like being a part of the early majority. It's already been tested. I don't want to be tested on. I know Dusty and ads, you kind of have to be in the innovator role, in the early adopter innovator role. I'm not an early adopter innovator. I don't want your crappy product and me be your beta run. Like I don't want you testing on me. I'm not that guy. I want to receive it and use it when I know it's been tested and hammered out, because I just paid you a lot of money for this. So with marketing, though, like we kind of have to stay in this early adoption, try to beat these trends, the, innovator early adopters, so that we beat the early majority for our clients. And so I think that's what we're all trying to do, is we're trying to look at that space right before early majority, because that's when something becomes mainstream. It goes from, is it about to be adopted? No, it didn't. It didn't cross the chasm. Is it about to become mainstream from fad to widely accepted? And then we're just trying to not jump on something, change our whole way of doing things, and then it doesn't make it, or doesn't make an adjustment. So I think we're all keeping our eyes there, and everyone that's listening should also.
Well, thanks for listening. Do what people do, like, subscribe, just follow us, comment if you have any questions or any topics you want us to talk about, and we'll see you next time.